SmackDown continues to be boring week in and week out, but we got a couple of interesting things that occurred on this show. But for the most part, especially match-wise, this show was boring and a waste of time. And I'm hoping that once WrestleMania season is over and done with, that SmackDown, it reverts back to 2 hours. It needs to. Because this 3-hour block is just mind-boggling. It really is mind-boggling. So we kick the show off with Randy Orton. So he gets on the mic. He gets a great reaction. He says there's a lot of crazy stuff that's been happening ever since he's been gone. He talks about John Cena. The fans boo. Orton says Cena's always been on the top of this profession, and now he's just the bottom for The Rock. That gives a whole new meaning for the term rock bottom, and he laughs. So, he says that he and John Cena have a lot in common, but there aren't many people with whom he has a lot in common with. He says on that short list is Kevin Owens. He said he and Owens have done vile things to get the job done. They've always pushed the envelope, but in the name of business. Orton says KO, the wrestler he respects. Come on, Randy. Are you serious? You respect this sack of shit, Kevin Owens, as a wrestler? Come on. Get real. How he busted his ass to get to WWE, he admires that. But Kevin Owens, the man, he has a problem with. I have a problem with both. Kevin Owens, the man, and Kevin Owens, the wrestler. Orton then quotes a famous quote saying, never underestimate a jealous man's ability to destroy another man. Pause. He says that's Kevin Owens. He's all jealous. Look at what he did to Cody Rhodes, because Cody has gold around his waist, and Kevin Owens was jealous of that. Sami Zayn, they fought tooth and nail, but they'd always become friends again. But at the Chamber, he attempted to drop Sami Zayn on his head on the concrete, and Kevin Owens will make you believe that Kevin Owens did that to help Sami Zayn. My bad. And Kevin Owens will make you believe that KO did that because Sami Zayn helped Cody Rhodes at the Rumble, but that's not the truth. It's because Sami Zayn's become a bigger star than Kevin Owens, which I would agree with that 10,000%. I've always liked Sami Zayn, always. I've always liked him. And he's always been better than Kevin Owens, in my opinion. He's, I would say, Arab Daniel Bryan. So, Orton says that him and Kevin Owens, at one point in time, they were friends until he got hit with a pile driver. He puts over Kevin Owens' career, saying that he's won every title. He even main evented WrestleMania not once but twice. One of them was against Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was, I believe, WrestleMania 38, which that was a good WrestleMania. It really was. He says, why does KO have to be so jealous? What does KO have to be so jealous about? He says he's never satisfied. Enough is never enough. Randy Orton says a year and a half ago he had a spinal injury, and every doctor told him his career was done. But he busted his ass to come back, and now Kevin Owens has pissed him off. And when he came out at the Elimination Chamber to say Sami Zayn, he hit Kevin Owens with an RKO, and he felt something that came over him. And normally that's enough. But something came over him which he hadn't felt in a decade and a half, and he liked it. He started to hear those voices in his head, and those voices told him to punt Kevin Owens in the head as hard as he can. He tells everyone to listen to him, and he says that he'll prove that Pat McAfee is only the second greatest punter in WWE. And that was it. So this was a pretty good little promo. I actually enjoyed this. Now, it seems like this should not be just a regular match. This should have a stipulation. I would do maybe like either a last man standing match or an I Quit match or something like that. Because I feel like just having a one-on-one match is kind of boring. But unless they want to do like a one and done type of match and then they move on after Mania, that's fine. But I would just do a stipulation. Like I said, either an I Quit match or a last man standing match or something like that, or even a steel cage, something. Because I feel like if you want to end the feud, you need to do it in that manner and not just do a regular one-on-one match. That's just me, though. Moving on. So, we go backstage. We see a clip from earlier on in the day where Nick Aldis is with Tiffany Stratton. So Chelsea Green comes in along with Piper Niven. Chelsea Green tells Nick that she cannot defend her title tonight in a street fight. Tiffany Stratton tells her to shut up, and she challenges Piper Niven to a match, which Nick Aldis makes official. All right, that's fine. First match of the night, Tiffany Stratton defeats Piper Niven. She wins via the prettiest moonsault ever. Post-match, robotic Charlotte Flair shows up. She chops Tiffany Stratton from behind, a leg chop. Then she locks in the figure 8, and then officials come down to break it up. All right, who cares about this shit? This is kind of a waste of time. Moving on. So we go backstage. Nick Aldis, he has a whiteboard and a marker. He runs through the tag division on Smackdown. He explains that the Street Profits will get their tag team title shot against DIY next week. And tonight it'll be a number 1 contenders match between Pretty Deadly, Los Garza, and the Motor City Machine Guns. Okay, cool, that's fine. Moving on, this leads us into Pretty Deadly, Los Garza, and Motor City Machine Guns. Pretty Deadly, they get the win here, which is great. Tremendous. I love this. So that means that the Street Profits should win next week if they're going to do babyface and heel. I don't know. Hopefully it happens. I am glad that Triple H got his head out of his ass and, gave Pretty Deadly the win. I feel bad for Los Garza because later on in the show, Santos Escobar makes like a demand that they get their act together. So it seems like they could be breaking up Los Garza, which is not good. I don't like that. Basically, Legado, if they want to break them up, they can. But Los Garza, they're so good as a tag team. I really wish they would go to NXT. Like, I'm serious. They need to go to NXT. Moving on. But Pretty Deadly getting the win is fine. Moving on. So, we get into some Bianca Belair drama. So, she gets on the mic. She says that she should feel like she's on top of the world right now after winning the Elimination Chamber and going to WrestleMania 41. But it's hard to do that when two of her best friends are fighting. She formed a bond with both of them. Herself and Jade elevated the women's division while Naomi stepped in to make sure it didn't go to waste. Her and Naomi were close before, but now she's her best friend. Bianca says she doesn't believe that Naomi would do something like that, and she's confused. Bianca says she's being accused too, and she needs answers. She said Naomi's not been texting her back, and Jade hadn't been talking to her either. She says she's known Naomi's back there. She wants her to come out and give her answers. So Naomi comes out. She has a neck brace on. Bianca asks her what's going on. So Naomi tells her that this is not what it looks like, and she needs to understand what she's about to say. Naomi asks Bianca who stepped up, who had her back, and made sure she didn't have to relinquish the tag titles after Jade was taken out. Bianca tells her to stop and asks Naomi if she's the one who attacked Jade. Naomi tells her this is all noise and distraction. Naomi tells Bianca she needs to focus on WrestleMania, and Bianca tells her to stop. Bianca tells her that they're here for Jade and to stop talking about everything else. Naomi tells Bianca that she never said this before, but this is the truth. She feels like Jade has been piggybacking off of Bianca the entire time, and that this is her truth. And she has been forced to watch someone like Jade succeed off her excellence, experience, and hard work while she was left aside. Naomi tells her she let both of them be great and proud of them, but deep down, that's how she feels. Damn. Naomi says she doesn't give a damn about Jade because Jade Cargill didn't give a damn about Bianca. So they begin to argue. Bianca asks her if she attacks Jade. Naomi breaks down and starts to cry, and she reveals to Bianca that she did it. Bianca begins to cry, and Naomi says she did it for Bianca. She did it for them. So Bianca can't believe it, and she tells Naomi that it hurts so bad because she loves her. She tells Naomi she can't even look at her right now, and that they're done. So Bianca leaves the ring. Naomi continues to cry in the ring. Naomi tells Bianca she did it for her, but she doesn't understand that right now. Bianca tells her that she should have pushed Jade harder, and every time she starts to clock in and stand up for herself, everyone turns on her. She tells Bianca that this is what she's doing right now. She calls Bianca an ungrateful bitch, which was great. I love that. I was like, oh, shit. So Bianca turns around. I thought she was going to whoop Naomi's ass, but it didn't happen. So we get a black SUV that pulls up. Out comes Jade Cargill, and she kicks Bianca Belair. My bad. She kicks Naomi's shit in. She hits the Jaded and dips out. So this was a fine segment. It's a little bit too long, but we get it. This is great. It makes sense. Heel Naomi should be interesting. Now, I've been reading online and hearing online that Naomi needs some heavy hitters, and she does. They need to call up Metaphor. Bring up Last Legend and Jakara Jackson. They're primed and ready, and I think this heel thing could work. So it does make sense that Naomi did it. Now, Bianca is now finally, after 2 years, a singles star again, which is great. So I do like this. But Naomi by herself against Jade Cargill, I don't know about that. We might have to call up Last Legend and Jakara Jackson. We might have to do that. But this was an okay segment. Pretty good stuff. But all that fake crying and shit, nah. It took me out of it, though. But it was good nonetheless, outside of the sobbing. Moving on. So Drew McIntyre, he's backstage, and he gets stopped by Byron Saxton. Drew tells him that everyone's talking about John Cena as if he didn't call it last week. Drew goes on to say that we're on the road to WrestleMania, and he now, thanks to Damian Priest, he has nothing. But tonight, he'll take out the black sheep of the Uso family. Okay, that's fine. I forgot to mention, at the start of Smackdown, Drew McIntyre attacked Damian Priest from behind and took him out. Okay, that's fine. Moving on. So, Hall of Fame news. Lex Luger, he's going to be inducted, which is great. Tremendous. And he's walking again and everything, which is great. Excellent. Love to see it. So we've got Triple H going in. We got Michelle McCool going in. And we also have Lex Luger going in. I wonder who else is going to be added. But pretty good stuff. They actually showed the video that was on WWE's official YouTube channel. But I think it's also on their Twitter page, their Twitter as well. I think it's on all their social media accounts. So yeah, that's good stuff. Moving on. Byron Saxton has another backstage interview, this time with Charlotte Flair. Charlotte tells Byron that she warned Tiffany that she would be going she was going to be there every week. My bad. Charlotte Flair tells Byron that she warned Tiffany that she was going to be everywhere that Tiffany was going to be, and the division has gone soft. So B-Fab comes in and she tells Charlotte that she doesn't hear her talking about the division being soft. Charlotte tells her no one compares her to B-Fab. That no one compares to her, but B-Fab tells her that if they want their own legacies, no one's interested in bowing down to her anymore. Charlotte Flair says to B-Fab, everyone eventually bows down to the Queen, and then she challenges B-Fab to a match next week. It's going to be taking place in Barcelona, Spain. So WWE begins to embark on its European tour. Interesting. Cool. I wonder if one Aleister Black will show up. Could be interesting. All right, that's cool there. Moving on. Braun Strowman versus Solo Sikoa. It ends in DQ because Tama Tonga gets involved. So Braun Strowman, he destroys Tama Tonga, and then Jacob Fatu shows up. Him and Braun Strowman, they get into a little brawl. Strowman chokeslams Jacob Fatu through some WWE equipment and a table. And so Jacob Fatu gets up immediately, which is crazy. So this is interesting stuff here, I guess. Moving on. So LA Knight, he's backstage with Byron Saxton. LA Knight tells Byron that was all gas and no breaks on Jacob Fatu going through the table. That means the man who cost him the U.S. title last time is out of the picture. And that means no more distractions. And he'll smack Shinsuke Nakamura to factory settings. He says, we're standing in the birthplace of the rebirth of his U.S. title reign. And if you think about it, he has dealt with sneak attacks, the mist. He dealt with it all. He says Nakamura hopes the shadows were good to him because he won't be, and we'll all pledge allegiance to the United States champion. And say, LA Knight, yeah, nice. Really good promo there by LA Knight. Moving on. So Chelsea Green is backstage. She's dressed as Cactus Jack, which is great. She's with Piper Niven, and she tells Niven to shake it off since she's still recovering from her match earlier. And then Zelina Vega tells Chelsea she'll go after whoever is champion next. Okay, why are we pushing Zelina Vega? For real. Like, why are we pushing Zelina Vega for? Come on, Triple H. Like, stop with this bullshit. Moving on. Chelsea Green, she defeats Michin with the help of Alba Fire. So it was just a typical street fight. Weapons, kendo sticks, chairs, tables, all that jazz. Who cares? Alba Fire shows up, like I say. She hits a Canadian Destroyer on Michin onto chairs, and then Chelsea gets the pin. So this is interesting, I guess. It's probably all just going to be a ruse. So, I don't know. Moving on. Oh, no, I forgot to mention that Alba Fire then salutes Chelsea Green. Okay, that's interesting. So, what I mentioned earlier about Los Garza, it actually took place here. That being Santos Escobar, he's backstage with Los Garza, and he tells them that they failed time and time again, and the next time they better win. So, Angel and Santos Escobar, they walk away. So Andrade comes in. He asks Humberto Carrillo why he takes that from them, and he knows Humberto, and Humberto deserves better. Okay, that's fine, but again, I don't know. Why break up Los Garza? It makes no fucking sense. It's dumb as shit. Moving on. So this leads us into Cody Rhodes. So he comes out next. He gets a really good reaction as per usual. He does his usual, what do you want to talk about shtick? So he says, it's the most watched moment in WWE wrestling history. He asks, what would you say to someone that isn't even 4 years old yet? When she asks you what happened to your face, he says that wasn't a conversation he was expecting to have. He says that he told her he went into a wall, though not entirely true. He went into that one that was designed by the final boss, The Rock, his associate Travis Scott, and his WrestleMania 41 opponent, John Cena. Cody Rhodes says that he drove John around for 2 years, trying to sponge off every bit of knowledge he could. He says John Cena was a hero. One day he would tell his daughter what actually happened, that a great man who did great things, the definition of someone who's virtuous, someone who said never give up, gave up. He said that person gave up. Cody apologizes for any language that he may have heard and tells John that everyone would like to know why. And he knows his old friend John Cena. It'll be very smooth, educated, well-crafted answer. A signature amount of phrases, and when he's done talking, he'll feel bulletproof and justified. There's no justification for what John Cena did. Cody says that he's well aware of. He's talking to the whole world right now. But those in the arena tonight, he doesn't know if they know any of this story. But that was the one place where his father was afraid to perform in. He never shared that same fear for reasons unknown. The fans once cheered him years ago when he was Cody Rhodes with a mustache. I think that was early 2010, maybe 2011, something like that. I can't remember when that was. He said he never forgot it. He said he never forgot last year at WrestleMania 40, trying to finish his story that started in the late 1970s, and they cheered for him, and they chose him again. Cody Rhodes says, speaking of WrestleMania 40, you can watch it back and hear the audio. You'll see John Cena in the ring putting out the title saying, it gets heavier every day. Cody then hoists the title in the air and looks at it. He says, here he is holding it. It's not heavy enough, holding it for over 300 days. He knows that John Cena is watching, and Cena is convinced that he's the last of his kind, but he's not. Cody holding the title as if it weighs nothing, and it's clear that John Cena wants some, and he can come get some. Okay, this is fine there. This actually does make sense. This is an interesting promo. I liked it. I know a lot of people probably were upset that he didn't go Homelander here, but he didn't need to. You need to save that for when him and John actually meet face to face. And again, I can't wait until we actually get John Cena's first heel promo. I think that's going to be fucking tremendous. Moving on. So The Miz and Carmelo Hayes, they're backstage with Nick Aldis. Miz tells him that Smackdown needs a hard-hitting interview and that no one Melo don't miss TV. Carmelo tells him that he never agreed to that, but he would like to ask Cody, why did he fumble his bag? You have people like Randy Orton, who came back after 4 months on the couch playing Fortnite. Randy says that Fortnite's for kids. He's playing Elden Ring. And then Nick Aldis makes Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes next week. That should be interesting. Moving on. Drew McIntyre defeats Jimmy Uso. So, rematch city again. Post-match, Damian Priest shows up and he beats up Drew McIntyre. Again, I can't believe that this is going to actually be a WrestleMania match. This should just be a Smackdown match at best. Like, come on, bro. Seriously. Moving on. So, DIY, their sorry asses are backstage. They're talking to Byron Saxton. Johnny Gargano tells Byron that there's a lot of great teams, but there's only one best team in the world, and that's them. Tommaso Ciampa tells them everyone wants what they want, and they could all fight about it. Johnny says that hope is a dangerous thing because it means they have a chance. And next week, the Street Profits are not going to be in the ring with great, but in the ring with the best. Tommaso Ciampa tells him that they'll hold a moment of silence for the Street Profits, and then they cut off Byron Saxton as he begins to speak, and then they walk away. Okay, who cares about this shit? Main event of the evening, LA Knight defeats Shinsuke Nakamura to become the new U.S. champion. Okay, cool. Nakamura missed Charles Robinson, and then LA Knight hits the BFT on the steel chair, throws it out the ring, and then he beats Nakamura. Okay, that's fine. Makes sense. So I'm guessing we're going to get a fourth match between these guys, I guess. Who cares? SmackDown, for the most part, was boring. The Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill stuff was pretty cool. Cody's promo to John Cena was all right. It could have been better, but it was okay nonetheless. And Randy Orton's promo talking about Kevin Owens was okay. Everything else was bullshit. But what did you guys think? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.